I was, it was obviously woe is me. Those 5 runs were not necessarily all earned. They hit one ball hard in the 3-run inning, but it was fortunate inning and a dinker here, a dinker there. Kroon's wildness in the 4th inning, and then we had every reason to go, oh no, here we go again, and the guys got up off the deck and did something about it. So I'm proud of them for that.
How big is that inning for you to get right back and get that much?
It could be a defining moment of our entire season, Bob, to be honest with you. It's like now we got a chance to win a series, which is critical. Had we rolled over kind of like we did last night, in my opinion, or the 1 runs were like 20 to us, and they're up 2-0 and we're 0-2 in the conference, it would have been more of an uphill battle. But the fact that we were able to come back, that's a good thing. And now when things go sideways a little bit, whether it's an opportunity we throw a ball away or whatever, it's not like, oh, that's going to win the game. So hopefully we can do that more frequently. Just because it happened one day doesn't mean it's going to happen all the time, but it's a good start.
Was Kasser a hunch, or have you been seeing some things out of him batting practice?
Kasser, as a baseball player, is a winner. He's a scrappy guy that bunts and hit and runs and executes and walks. His on-base average going into the day with no hits was 667, and it's not ice skating for him. It's not style points or anything else. He just finds a way to beat you right out of the gate. Waz does a hit and run. He hits one down the left field line, and so not that St. Louis or Goldie have lack of mentality, but what we were looking for is some mentality, freshness and competitiveness. And Goldie has that, and St. Louis have that, but their strokes are not right now in line for that. They want to do it, and they battle, but unfortunately right now they don't have the tools, the mechanisms to do that. So Bennett and Kasser was kind of a hunch, a mentality hunch, and it paid off.
Do they stay in the lineup tomorrow?
Well, like we always do, we'll talk. It's a left-hander tomorrow, so Catalano will be in there tomorrow, and he's a winner and a fresh guy and a guy that's had a history of success against left-handers. And we don't have a plethora of right-handed choices. Unfortunately, Hagan, our catcher, that brings right-handed power and would have probably caught today, is still sick. So we'll see if he can go tomorrow. And I can't answer that yet until I talk to the offensive coaches. That their opinion matters just as much as mine.
Do you think you guys were maybe trying to do too many things earlier in the game with the double steal and the ball getting thrown over Kasser's head there?
Yeah, I wrote that down on my card, as a matter of fact. In fact, that's the one thing that got away from Kasser. He got a steal sign, but the rule is if you don't get a jump, you're not supposed to go, and that was an awful jump with the left-handed hitter, and that's how coaches get fired. So we're going to have a discussion on that one. And of course, if we were scoring runs at will, then you go, okay, we'll get them next inning. But, that one, I'm like, well, really? Why are we doing that? I don't know if you've noticed, but I did grab my head on that. Like, what are we doing? So no fault to Waz. I think, when you're aggressive, sometimes things backfire. But like I say with hitting plans, the pitch has got to match the plan. We plan on stealing, but if they make it difficult for us, like they almost picked him off the pitch before. So anyway, that one got away from him, and that was not a smart baseball play.
What are your thoughts on the 2 freshman relievers you used today?
I thought they did fine. Isaiah probably could have finished, but we were playing the 8th and the 9th at that time, and 8th for Mercer and Nogo in the 9th, and the fact that we extended allowed us to keep Nogo in the bullpen, and maybe we'll have a 2 or 3 inning performance from him tomorrow. It's nice to have him, and fingers crossed that the weather holds up. It's supposed to be awful, from what I understand.
That's a good bounce back for Mercer, wasn't it? He had a rough inning.
Yeah, he had a rough inning. It was a long inning, and here's what happened. He actually executed the inning and could have got out of it. And unfortunately, we didn't make a defensive play, and then he succumbed to that. I think he gave in to that. And the first time, because he's a very confident kid and he's a very talented kid, that I thought the results of one pitch got to him. So, and I'm sure he was anxious to get back out there. And the good news is he walked a guy, which he shouldn't do with a 4-run lead, nobody on, and he didn't let him bother him today. So I was proud of him for that.
Do you think the guys started today with more energy than they did yesterday? It seemed like just from the chat.
Yeah, and that was one of our deals. Let's start having some fun, and we've tried everything. You know, I've told them this and that. And, quite honestly, I told them the dugout was not very good. You know, if we're gonna wait around for somebody to hit a ball over a fence or somebody to get a 2-out RBI, and we're not going to have a lot of energy from the dugout. So what I said is let's start finding anything to get positive energy out there, and they did that. And it seemed like they had more fun with the game. And when we went behind, it wasn't woe is me and overreacting. There's still at times with Cisneros pickoff throw and guys trying to do too much because they do have the will to win. And I'll never fault my guys for trying hard.
With Crook being as wild and unpredictable as he's been so far this year, is any thought of maybe giving him a start off?
No, not yet. He's got a chance to be one of the best pitchers that I've ever coached, and he's working through some difficulties and some rhythm things, and it's been better. And this was, I don't think he had a real liberal strike zone. That's nothing against the umpire. He was tight not tight. I shouldn't say tight. He didn't have a real liberal strike zone for either side, and that's not. And you can tell right from the first two hitters, their plan is make them throw strikes. To a fault, they both struck out looking. It's like, really? And so he's going to have to earn the right to get guys to swing the bat, and I think he can do that. I think way premature to take him out of the rotation.